it was such an honest description of what it's like to be a teenager in America right now, and I think that's what people are going to like the most.
Having someone like Grace, who's just such an incredible musician, really just elevates the entire thing.
The young people in this movie are so phenomenal.
It's about people just being who they are and accepting people as they are and knowing that they have value.
I learned how to play the ukulele, yeah.
I think this film is different from other Be Yourself films. It's more than that. It's about being yourself and expressing yourself, but also knowing that there's always more to learn about yourself, and everyone has to go on their own journey. And I think by the end of this movie, even Stargirl learned a big thing about herself, and she seems like she knows herself more than anyone.
I'm excited for people to see the movie for the first time. People who haven't been able to see it yet. I've been waiting for so long for this to happen. I can't wait.
Same.
It's very exciting. You know, obviously it's a movie most people will watch at home with their families, so it's really fun to get this big, special, old school Hollywood night to celebrate it together at this amazing theater that I've been coming to since I was a little girl. It's a dream.
No one could be more excited than we are because it's been a long journey, but totally worth the wait.
I'm so excited. Not everyone could come last night, so some of these people I haven't seen almost since we filmed, so I'm so excited. I'm so excited for people to see it as well.
Yeah, I think the great thing about this job, and I've been very privileged in my career to feel this way a lot of times, is that I'm very proud of Stargirl, and I'm really proud of what we made. So it's nice, you spend two and a half months in Albuquerque, in the cold or in the rain or in the blazing heat, trying to make this film. And, there can be tough times, there can be really exciting times, but at the end, it's so nice to take a beat to celebrate it and, just toast to what we made.
I'm really happy to be here because this story means so very much to me for a number of reasons. The book was read by all four of my daughters, who when I called and said this is an opportunity for me, they said, I bet you didn't read the book yet. I said, I have not. They said, well, guess what? You're doing the movie. This is a story of inspiration, of wonder, of enchantment, of being excited about life. So many of our young people today are so concerned about our world and our universe, and here we have a character who is filled up with infinite wisdom that youth have and is not afraid to express it. So for me to be here is very special. I had to be here for this premiere. I'm shooting in another country, and I flew back to be here just to support this film and Disney, who was so wise in their decision to make it.
Yes, it was really fun, the whole musical side of the movie, and I actually wrote a song for one of the soundtracks that plays during the credits, so stay seated for the credits.
Yes. Well, music is it's the poetry of the heart, so it makes perfect sense that Stargirl, who really embodies true heartfeltness, because she's a girl who doesn't judge other people and she doesn't judge herself, which is really antithetical to being a teenager or a human being, really. But this is a girl who is raised, going to homeschool and sees the world in a different way. She sees it more with curiosity than judgment. And she has an innocence to her that should never be mistaken for naivete. She's actually very worldly and very wise, but she has a sweet, kindness, innocent quality to her that I think we could all use a dose of right now.
And it was Julia. Julia really brought a musical element to it. Grace brought the natural talent of, if you want me to sing, I'll sing, and Julia figured out a way to organically weave it into the story, which is beautiful.
Seeing someone sing on camera is just, it always kind of makes your heart beat a little bit faster and puts a smile on your face if it's done right. So it adds to the specialness of the movie, and then having someone like Grace, who's just such an incredible musician, really just elevates the entire thing.
I learned how to play the ukulele, yeah. I played guitar before, so it was pretty easy to pick up, but yeah, it was really fun.
My daughter is. I got my daughter a ukulele. Actually, Grace gave me a ukulele to give to my daughter, so she's taken up the ukulele. So I'm living vicariously through my daughter.
Oh, yeah, it feels like the music is, it's seamless. It's part of the message. Grace VanderWaal, her music and her voice is irresistible, so it feels like it was just perfect casting for who Stargirl is.
Grace is really wonderful, and she does beat to her own drum. And I think that speaks to self-confidence and speaks to the way she was raised and speaks to the vibrations that she's pulling from the universe, some of that joy and wonder we all need to have in our lives. So I'm really happy for her, have looked back at America's Got Talent and the things that she's won, and her playing and her voice is so very special, and her eyes sparkle, and to be young again and to be so excited about life.
Well, I mean, we were so lucky, and I have to give Lee credit because casting Grace was really his idea. He from the moment he heard her on America's Got Talent, he was like, we have to put Grace in this movie. And Julia and I think Kristin and everyone who worked on the script came up with such great ideas for music that, both Grace and Graham, I think, embraced and performed beautifully. And then having, Grace write a song for us, couldn't be happier.
I mean, I'm very excited for people to discover Grace VanderWaal as an actress and Graham Verchere as Leo. I think they both are incredible, and people will be blown away by their performances. They embody these characters, the essence of these characters so beautifully, and their chemistry together is just so crackly and exciting and also really moving and emotional, and they go through real journeys in this movie that causes them to grow in very profound ways. And it's also just a fun movie, and it's beautiful to watch. It's really shot beautifully. I think there's so many reasons to watch Stargirl.
But it was just wonderful to see them work, and I think the respect that they have for the material and knowing, and like Jerry Spinelli is here, and so like they were so excited to see him. It's fantastic. We need a movie like this right now. We really honestly do.
When I read this script and I'd seen what Kristin, Jordan, and Julia had done, it was such an honest description of what it's like to be a teenager in America right now, and I think that's what people are going to like the most.
I hope that people finish the movie feeling a little bit better and a little more hopeful. The young people in this movie are so phenomenal, and they all totally fell in love with each other making the movie, and I think it shows, and they give me a lot of hope.
I'm excited for them to really see a story that exemplifies what they once had and maybe have let pieces of it go throughout their life, and to be reminded that to be in wonder about our world, no matter where it's at, and to make a choice about being the solution and being positive and spreading light is a choice that's worth making.
It feels almost like an indie that Disney produced, and I think the message and also Grace's singing is so good. I mean, they're going to love it. Anybody who's a fan of hers.
To me, it's neither a book nor a movie, it's a story. And it's a story that I wrote, and what happens to it beyond that, that's in the hands of the gods. So I'm just happy to get that story, whether it's in the hands of a reader or a stage play or a film, just to get the story around. So this is part of that deal, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, I mean, I think for people who read the book, and because it's required reading in schools, I think it's sort of a testament to the evergreen quality of the material and the story itself, that, it resonates with all audiences. And so we're excited that people are going to get to see this finally, and couldn't be happier about this premiering on the Disney streaming service.
When I first read the script and read the book, the first song that popped into my head was Be True to Your School. It just felt like such a Stargirl anthem. And I still can't believe it's actually in the movie. It's sort of surreal.
It's a darling movie. I'm a huge fan of the book by Jerry Spinelli, Stargirl, and Julia Hart did a lovely job with this movie. So it's thrilling to be part of it.
Yes, I mean, it's so fulfilling that we get to bring Jerry Spinelli's beautiful classic novel to the screen finally, and it's amazing how universal and timeless it is. It's still just as relevant, if not more, actually. And I'm excited that we're bringing at a very curious time in our world where people are having a lot of fear and anxiety about different things, that this movie really brings people a lot of hope and a lot of reassurance and a lot of reminding us about the power of humanity and keeping our humanity intact while we move through challenges. So I'm happy we get to bring this movie to the people right now.
I think the message is to be true to yourself and let others follow you. It's supposed to conforming to the pack. And I think that's what Jerry wrote beautifully in the book. And I think Julia and the adaptation and the actors that we chose and Disney as our partner kind of make that very clear.
It's an important thing for everyone to hear. I think it's something that everybody needs to learn at some point, and it's the importance of, everybody wants to fit in, but it's the importance of keeping yourself, staying true to yourself while fitting in. And I mean, my character Leo, he chose fitting in over being himself, and Stargirl was the opposite. So, yeah, it kind of shows everything.
Its theme, it's acceptance. It's about people just being who they are and accepting people as they are and knowing that they have value. And I think it's the perfect time for a theme like that being pushed out into the world, where it's like, we're all interconnected and we all have an effect on one another's life. And I think it's a sweet story.
I think what's really great about this film is it's such a relevant message and a relevant theme, which is just teens tackling their identity and what it means to be themselves and embracing that, and what it means to tackle adversity to who you are. And I think it's really beautiful to see these characters go through that journey.
This movie was, in a very literal way, like a very family environment. My wife is the director. We did a lot. We co-wrote the script with Kristin, and there was a very family environment, with our work, and then just that really extended out to set with all the kids that are in the movie. And it's really great to see them all again. It's kind of like a high school reunion. It's nice. Yeah.